The foundation behind me not only for this home, but for a project that's set to transform one of Albany's South End streets. Right over here, they're demoing 6 sheds today in hopes of building more homes. This crime scene investigator still wrapping up the case today. Geronimo did admit to killing his adoptive mother. If convicted of second-degree murder today, he could face a minimum of 20 years in prison. Reporting in East Poultney, Vermont, Alex Goodson, CBS 6 News. So what exactly do you do with signs like these once the election's over? Well, first, you could just keep them for the next time that your candidate runs, especially if they're a career politician. Second, fines are asking for almost $600,000 for this property, but this is not the residence where the alleged molestation took place. That property's across town, right on Wilson Street, which is right in Lincoln Park in Syracuse. A big concern opponents have is the contamination of your drinking water, which could make going to the sink to fill up your water bottle that much more difficult. Which is just one of the reasons a judge ruled that the town of Dryden, New York can decide for itself whether or not they want to allow hydrofracking. This used to be the home of 73-year-old Lois Decker. She was strangled back in November 2011 by Islam. After he strangled her, he stole her car and crashed it. Taking off at noontime. It starts all the way down at Shenandoah High School and goes all the way to Clifton Commons. The biggest story in the news today, obviously, who won the election, but it's something that people may not know about as much, I know I did, is what happens to signs like these the day after the election. Let's take a look. I gotta tell you, I checked weather.com before we came out here. It said it was 46, but I have to tell you, with the wind, I am really regretting wearing a skirt right now. It's freezing. It's absolutely freezing out here. There's about 74% humidity, which, you know, it sounds weird to be humid when it's cold, but that just means that the air is really heavy, especially with this rain. Barometric pressure is about 29.44 inches. I know we throw around that term a lot. What exactly does that mean? That's just referring to the air pressure, the level of it. And so when it's lower, that means that there's more time for a low pressure system to come in. That's why it's starting to rain right now. That's not going to hit us. This is just remnants of Sandy, the kind of tail end of it hitting us tonight. So if you want to trick or treat, I would definitely suggest bringing an umbrella. All right, here's precipitation. See this down here, this white? That's snow. So we're at least not getting that yet. That's heading down towards Pittsburgh and that sort of area. For Syracuse, you can just see the dark green. That's going to be some heavy rain that we're going to see tonight. Like I said, bring an umbrella, try and stay warm. It's going to be pretty chilly tonight. And even towards Buffalo. Now, this guy, he's a little scary, but I'm sure he's going to be trying to stay warm tonight too. It's going to be a low of 44, but it's going to feel like 35. It's going to be really chilly, so if you have little ones with you, make sure they bundle up. President Obama spoke just a few hours ago in Washington, D.C., and he says that the most important thing is to promise that 97% of the country won't see a tax increase. Everyone from Dave Matthews to Natasha Bedingfield and David Crosby were among the all-star lineup for the event. And workers in the European Union are planning a number of protests and strikes against the rising unemployment and austerity measures. Federal investigators are trying to find out why a man flying from Japan to Boston would need to wear a bulletproof vest and carry a suitcase filled with several weapons. Well, the pumpkin is the most obvious part of Halloween, probably, and there's a farm out in Redwood that is selling a different type of pumpkin than most, and it's for a good cause. No tricks here, just treats. Let's take a look.
Slug you. Each year the great pumpkin rises out of the pumpkin patch that he thinks is the most sincere. He's got to pick this one. He's got to.
Maybe the great pumpkin will choose this pumpkin patch tonight.
People curious to see what they're like, buying them, supporting us, just wonderful.
It's the year of the pink pumpkin at the Hunter's Farm. It's a festive way to bring awareness to a more serious issue.
This year in the seed, one of the seed catalogs I saw where they had pink pumpkin seeds, and they wanted you to donate a quarter to for each pumpkin you sold to breast cancer. Well, I said, well, that's a good cause, and I've got lots of land, and I said I can do a heck of a lot better than that.
And they certainly did.
So we've raised just about $1,000 for breast cancer.
It's something the Hunters are unfortunately familiar with.
My own dad died of cancer, so just cancer itself is certainly a cause, I think, to support. Breast cancer, whatever cancer.
It's close to home.
Yes, it is close to home.
So that's where they're starting. The Hunters run the stand right in their front yard. You can get a small pumpkin for $5 or a large pumpkin for $10. Then all you have to do is pick it up, bring it over to your trunk, which makes donating to breast cancer as easy as as pumpkin pie. I have no idea how this got here.
Thanks, Alex. So I have to know, did you snag one of the pink pumpkins?
Luckily, I was able to, and my personal favorite, acorn squash, so I'm all set.
That is delicious.
We have fought our way back, and we know in our hearts that for the United States of America, the best is yet to come.
But what's to become of all of these? President Obama got the votes last night. Now, who gets all the campaign signs?
The thing is that each municipality has a certain set of guidelines for how long they can be left up, and typically the candidates send their staff around to pick them up.
These signs cover lawns and the flyers fill the mailboxes, but not all of it's going to make its way to your blue bin. And the public information officer for Okra says that's because of the material.
Typically those signs are made of something that is, it's called coroplast. It's basically a cardboard, but it's made with plastic.
So that means Onondaga County can't recycle it. So what exactly do you do with signs like these once the election's over? Well, first you could just keep them for the next time that your candidate runs, especially if they're a career politician. Second, you could give them back to the party that you're affiliated with. They're pretty expensive, so the parties will gladly take them back. Or third, you could reuse the material for a school or home project. And as for the flyers,
Mailers that you get at your home, those are almost always 100% paper, and they can be recycled.